Hi, and welcome back to another Gadget Lab show. I'm Michael Calori.
I'm John Phillips.
This week, we attended the Google I/O conference. It's a big show for developers, a lot of huge announcements. We're going to rip through the two biggest ones right now, which are the new tablet, which comes with Jelly Bean on it, all sorts of enhancements, and the Nexus Q, which is the sort of home media enjoyment device that Google announced this week. Why don't we go through Jelly Bean first?
Right. So this is Nexus 7 running Jelly Bean, the new OS, Android 4.1.
Comes in black and white.
Right. Right now I have the Maps app up, and so it has 3D maps. Simple matter of just sort of gliding through the OS, moving back, moving forth. So basically, it gives you a three-quarter isometric view of your city. So that's one big feature.
It's very cool if you're, by the way, if you're looking for if you're looking for directions and all of a sudden you go into the 3D view, you can end up like zooming around the neighborhood and get really distracted and waste tons of time.
Right. Another big thing, it's sort of trying to be very Amazon Kindle Fire-ish. And so you go to the Google Play Store and you get these direct links to movies and books, TV shows now, and they're really trying to push media purchasing as well. So that's a big part of it. And then
there's a magazine store.
Right. Now, what's the cards thing? I always call it cards, but what is it again?
Oh, it's called Google Now.
Right.
And basically you access it from any Jelly Bean touchscreen device by starting at the bottom of the screen and swiping up as quickly as possible. And then you get this really nice display of information that's relevant to you right now based on location, based on your own data that's stored on the device, and based on your most recent search history. So let's say I'm an Oakland A's fan and I'm always asking about, what are the Oakland A's scores today? I'm always searching, reading news about the Oakland A's. It's going to show me a little card at the top of Google Now. Whenever I swipe up, I'll see if there's a game going on, I'll see the scores. If a game just ended, I'll see what the box score is, plus a link to read more about the game. It's always going to show me weather. If I commute a lot and it knows my work address, it knows my home address, and I tell it to, Google Now will show me the traffic information for my commute. Or if I take the bus, it'll show me when my next bus arrives. So it's totally customizable. It learns a lot on its own, but from what I found just from a day or so of playing with it is that it benefits a lot from information that you put into it as well.
Right.
Very cool, very slick feature. It's enhanced by voice search. Pizza. All right, I understood that one pretty clearly. And it's showing me, let's see, there's some round table coupons and the paid search results at the top. Then there's a giant map with a bunch of pins on it with a bunch of pizza locations in my neighborhood, Yelp reviews. I can click on the map. It'll open up maps on the tablet, and then I can pinch and zoom in on where I'm having my slice.
Right. So it's a pretty intuitive system. It's not as intuitive or as effective as Siri, but it's getting closer. And it really shows that Google is hyper aware that people want voice control, and they want sort of graphical representations as a result of these voice searches too.
Yeah. Now, what you were saying about the sort of Amazonish storefront,
right?
And we should note that this tablet costs $200.
Right. Very inexpensive.
And that is the same price as the Kindle Fire.
Same price as Kindle Fire, and it's got much better hardware specs. So it's got a 1280 by 800 screen. It's got a quad-core CPU, and it's much faster than the Kindle Fire, which we really took to task November of last year.
And it'll ship with ice cream sandwich, and then it'll get Jelly Bean in July. Right. And also, it's tied into this.
It's tied into that. So where this is $200, this is $300, and a lot of people are questioning, well, what is this, and why does it cost so much? So this is the Nexus Q. It's an audio streamer, essentially.
And video streamer.
It's
a media streamer.
It's a media streamer. This little ball sucks down digital content from the cloud. You control it with your Android device. And if we had it connected up to its full complement of stuff, it would be connected to speakers and an HD TV. So essentially, it plays Google Music and YouTube and movies you rent from Google Play. And when you play audio, it has this visualizer. So as I move the volume control, there it goes back to blue, and then in a second it should pop back to the visualizer.
Now these LEDs?
Those are LEDs. So I actually visited the factory where these are made. You could check it out online. And I talked to the engineers and the industrial designers who built it. There are 32 LEDs, 32 RGB LEDs around the perimeter, and then they use sort of like this light pipe that diffuses all the LEDs and makes it this continuous band.
So it can do any color in the rainbow, and
right.
it can dance around at any
yeah,
speed.
Any color in the rainbow. And we heard it. You're more of an audiophile than I am, and you actually thought it sounded pretty good?
It does sound pretty good. Now, granted, it's a 25 watt solid state Class D amp in here, and it's bolted onto the bottom of what is basically a Android phone. And it sounds pretty good. It sounds as good as the other 20 watt, 25 watt Class D amps you can buy out there on the market. The price is a little bit inflated because it obviously has a beautiful design. It's made in the United States. That makes it a little bit more expensive. The factory is local here in California, and it has the ability to hook it up to some really nice speakers. It takes banana plug jacks. So what we heard was the $300 amp hooked up to a set of $400 speakers using Google's $50 cables. So for an outlay of $750, you have an audio device that sounds awesome and only plays music that is stored in Google Music or is stored on your actual Android device.
Currently, it doesn't work with Rdio or Spotify or any other amps, and it's a very niche product, and that's sort of the early hands-ons. And my own criticism of it is that for what it does very well, but is what it does enough for $300?
Right, and that is a question that we will answer when we review it. And you can read the full product review on Wired.com. And you can also read about a dozen or so stories that we wrote while we were at Google I/O over the last week. And included in that package is Jon's amazing feature about the development of the Nexus Q. So sink or swim, it's still a pretty awesome product. It's cool to touch, it's cool to look at. It says a lot about what Google's trying to do.
And we'll find out who's going to buy it when it goes on sale in July.
That's it for this week, and we'll see you next time from the Gadget Lab.